look really nice in the texture overhaul, and it floats in the middle of space. There's a portal you can go through to more of the same, just islands of the floating cheese, and there's a city every so often. Structure, which is an interesting structure. I'll give them that, but yeah, like that's the one thing. And of course, Galacticraft's a good example here. Or if you look at any of the other spacefaring mods, they add all these dimensions, and it seems really cool in theory. Oh, I can go to all these other planets, and I can do this and that. But you get there, and it's just like a barren desert, right? There's nothing to it, because that's what the other planet would look like. I think if we were going to have a mod, for example, that lets you go to Mars or the moon, there needs to be things there. Like, it can't just be an endless wasteland like the moon is in real life or Mars is in real life, because it's just pointless. You know, you want to go there and interact with it in some way. How cool would it be if you could go to Mars and you could find unique things? You know, there was unique structures and mobs, and you could go into the cave system and take a fantasy style on it, a sci-fi fantasy look at it. Some people may do. Yeah, some people may do that. But not many. Not many will. And there has to be a reason, too. I'm going to want to go and build something on a moon or a planet if there's a reason to be there more than just collecting the sand to process for helium-3 for my reactor. You know, there's got to be more of a reason than that. That's one of the great jobs they did with the Nether, is they made it a place you want to be in. Not only can you survive there, but you can thrive there. You can build cool stuff there within these different biomes, and you've got these mechanics and things to interact with. And I think that's something that the end needs, but I can totally understand the struggle in trying to... Yeah, and then you never ever come back because you never ever need it. It's one of those kind of situations, man. You know, the end is pretty flawed in the way that it is, and that's not anybody who works there now's fault. And I don't necessarily even blame like Notch and Jeb who were working on it at the time. They felt that they needed to get an end into the game, not an unreasonable thought process, but they had like 3 to 4 weeks to do this in. People forget, like, the adventure update was supposed to be beta 1.7, and it was going to be split into 2 halves later. So beta 1.7, beta 1.8 is what it was supposed to be, and then 1.0 is going to be... That hadn't even been thought of until Minecon rolled around. And I think there was perhaps this feeling that they needed to get the game out of early access, right? And because that's what it was. Beta was basically early access. They wanted to get it out of that and into a finished state, right? That's what they wanted to do. And that's fair and cool and everything, to want to do that. But they gave themselves very, very little time to do so. That decision was taken